Down to business.
When he drinks, he thinks.
That's the nectar of the gods, baby.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the #1 liquid-fueled, liquid lubricated show on the interwebs. This is the Whiskey Musings Broadcast, and tonight I am your Santa impersonating host, Rick. I also have a special guest. I told you at Thanksgiving I would be bringing him back for this episode because we've done it in the past, and I'll be honest with you. Captain Unicorn, a.k.a. Kirk, he does a fantastic job finding some unique gifts. And he's got a couple in here. There's one in particular that I'm already salivating over. I'm planning on getting my wife. Because, and I'll explain why when we get there. But no, keep it quiet. Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell Mrs. Whiskey. She doesn't need to know this. All right. So because this is a Christmas gift episode, I had to pull out, of course, the Santa hat. But I also pulled out my ugly Jameson sweater. Well, not really ugly, but my son gave this to me last year. And so I am honoring him, of course, because of the sweater. I love my kid. I love him. He's about, way taller than I am, but hey, whatever. So anyway, yeah, I'm already seeing some of the chat going off, especially for those that are on Rumble. I'm watching all of the Rumblers, chatters, and they're going off and everything else. All right. I do also have another announcement tonight. The announcement is that I finally got goaded, and I do say goaded, into opening up my Twitch channel. So I am transmitting on Twitch at the same time. So I've now got Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. All 5 are going right now. And why Twitch? Well, I got told that I should probably do it, and there's enough Mark K people that want to go over to Twitch. So hey, if you like Twitch, go ahead and hop on over there and check that out. But obviously, I am a Rumbler. I love Rumble. I'm going to keep pushing Rumble, but I figured I might as well just throw Twitch out there. I actually, surprisingly, I went over there and took a look, and I actually have 3 followers on Twitch. So I actually have people already there waiting for me to go ahead and start transmitting. But that being said, there we go. All right. So let me go ahead and throw out, just because I saw this over on Facebook, Tommy Young, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Tommy. And of course, Tommy says, great gift to see Whiskey Musings tonight. Well, that is awesome. I am honored that you feel that is a great gift. So, congratulations to you. Another trip around the wonderful golden ball that we call the sun. All right. I know that everybody is waiting, but maybe a little impatiently, for me to give you my thoughts on what Elon Musk did last night and what he's supposed to have done today, but I haven't really seen anything else. But I just want to say that I'm going to hold. I've already kind of said a little bit on my Facebook page about it, but I'm going to hold a little bit longer. And the reason being is because it is so, you kind of have to get your hands and arms and get it wrapped around the thought process in terms of the revelation that was sent. Now, obviously we still have to, there is some validation already built in, just because of the fact that Elon is allowing for the internal Twitter people to, internal Twitter messages to come out. But that being said, we do need to take a breath and realize that there is a possibility, however small, there is a possibility that maybe there might be some fakeness going on in there as well. But that being said, okay, That being said, I did post something on Facebook. That is the long version. I took and broke it up a little bit for Twitter. I had to, just because of the 144 character thing. So I ended up making it a thread, but I tried posting it elsewhere. And unfortunately, Gab was the only other place that would accept the entire diatribe altogether. So just so you're aware, I am planning on doing something and talking about that on Wednesday's broadcast after I give homage to Pearl Harbor, of course, on December 7th. So that's what's coming up. But that is not tonight's episode. That is not tonight's topic. Tonight, it is all about special gifts. It is all about unique gifts that you have enough time right now that you can still order and you can still get them shipped. There is a lot of things from Amazon on here, and I know there are a lot of people out there who are not too pleased about Amazon. But I just want to say it's there. Use it if you want to. If you don't, you can at least get some ideas and maybe look for alternative sources in order to get it. Now, last thing for tonight's drink. I am drinking the Four Roses Single Barrel Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. And as you can see, I'm getting a little lower in the bottle, so I'm going to have to go and get another one. But seriously, B. Patrick and Fat Paws have they've ruined me. I'm not drinking the Jameson tonight, but they've ruined me. They've actually ruined me. So anyway, so that's what I'm drinking. And yes, that was Outlaw Dogs who was, of course, asking for that. Outlaw Dogs over on Rumble. I see 3 Chevy jumped over to Twitch. Just wanted to say hi over there. I saw that you were on Rumble, but now obviously you're testing the Twitch stream, which is cool. I like that. Thank you very much for taking one for the team, basically, and hopping on over there. So, yes, Rumble will probably be way behind. You've got to understand, guys, just like with any other stream, a lot depends on the server, the Restream server, because I use Restream.io, just like Mark K does. In fact, I think I was using it before he was. But anyway, I use Restream.io, and I stream to it, and it sends out to other places all of my outlets, and that's basically how we do it. It does kind of a rebroadcast, so it really depends on, how quickly the server passes that information on to the next one, and then, of course, how that server ingests it and is be able to kick it out. So yes, there will probably be a delay and a change between the streams. So if you jump between locations, that's probably why, and that kind of stuff. All right, enough with the technical talk. I got to bring my guest in. I've been watching him over on this other image because I see it. He's in my green room, and he's sitting here, and he's just like drinking. He's having a good time. I'm telling you, this guy looks like Santa Claus, but that's not his love. His love is unicorns. So let me bring him in real quick here. And, oh, wait. Oh, that's right. I've got to beam him in. So here we go. Let me get the transporter up and ready and running. And here we go. Here he comes. There he is the man, the myth, the legend. Oh, his hat looks a little funny. I'll explain why. Wait a minute. Let me get him. I got to unmute him too. Hold on.
Am I here?
You are here. Yeah, you're here. You're here. I just got
to post in Rumble chat, but it won't let me say anything.
Really? That's
really
interesting.
I type whatever I want, I hit enter, and nothing happens.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, because I don't see you in there technically, but yeah. I apologize for that. I don't know what to tell you on that, but
not your fault.
Yeah. So let me see if I can back off and get your color and your hat a little
Someone's
bit better.
getting coal for Christmas, I can tell you now.
Oh, coal for what? Oh, because of Rumble? Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I can understand that. All right. Let's see. Wait a second.
And for those of you who are interested, I'm drinking spiked eggnog.
Ah, yes, that was going to be my
Christmas.
first question. Was the spiked eggnog? Okay, so let me see if I can get this. I gotta try and get you a little bit more, shall we say, here. Take this a little bit back here. There we go. There we go.
I'm whole again.
Yes, you're whole again. All right, let's see if I can close this off a little bit. So you're drinking the spike eggnog. What did you spike it with?
Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan spiced rum. Yes.
Of course, you gotta go with the captain. Come on.
Yeah, well, you know. Okay. All right. So the reason why, the reason why that he was a little off is because he was held up getting into the green room. And so because he was held up, I didn't get my opportunity to do the pre-stream checks. He showed up, and that's actually why I was like 1 minute behind.
And we're live.
Yes, we are live. So live stuff, of course. This is live, and it always does. And yes, the captain, 3 Chevy says the captain is just a hologram.
No, I'm real.
Well, he says he's real, but for us, he's a hologram. Wait, whoops, wait. Oh, see, I can't poke him. Okay. Anyway, sorry. All right. Hey, so check this out. So I actually, the last time that you were on the show, when I would switch over to the other screen and like show what was going on, I actually corrected that. So I corrected it so that you now are in the other corner. So there you go. You are in the other corner, and you can see what's going on. And of course, where is it? There it is. Okay. So, whoops. Let me take that out. That's not what I was supposed to do. Anyway, let's get back to our whoops. Geez, I am just hitting the wrong damn buttons.
And we're live.
And we're live. Yeah. Okay. All right. Jay Bose. And I know Captain Unicorn, you might not know, but he's the board operator for the Mark K Show. He has hopped in to Facebook, and he is saying that you are wearing dog colors. I'm guessing that's Georgia dogs. He'll probably correct me here in just a minute, but whatever. Yeah.
I don't care about that.
No. Anyway, it's kind of sad too because the U.S. men's national team.
Go Zags. What? Sorry.
All right. Anyway. Oh God, it's always fun whenever you come on. I love it. All right. So let's go ahead. Now you've grabbed a bunch of stuff, and
a couple of things I have purchased in the past or is on its way here.
Oh, okay.
And we'll get to that when you pull them up.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's awesome. And hey, real quick, Buddy Weiser wants to know, what's your favorite episode of Star Trek?
Oh Lord. First, which series? There are so many. If we're going with next gen, then it's got to be like Best of Both Worlds or Darmok. That's a good one. Chain of Command.
Okay, let's go with the original series because I know I have a feeling of Buddy Weiser's age, so he's probably
Okay, fine. Original series. Well, everyone says City on the Edge of Forever. That's a pat answer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is good, but I'm drawing a blank. Balance of Terror.
Okay.
It's where they're hunting down the Romulans.
Oh.
And it's basically a submarine movie in space on that one.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Where is that?
Evil Shatner.
What?
Oh, someone said Evil Shatner.
Oh, yes, the evil Shatner. Okay. All right.
Oh, you like Tribbles?
Oh, trouble with Tribbles. Uh-oh. Outlaw Dogs likes the Tribbles. Oh, there's the Tribble.
Official tribbles.
Official. It's not just the regular tribble. It's an official tribble. All right. So just so you guys know, Mrs. Unicorn, she is a Star Wars fan. So somehow these two figured out how to make it work with Star Wars and Star Trek. Okay, without fighting, without arguing. Although you know what, better yet, I don't go down that path. So never mind. All right.
Okay. Well, I am a sci-fi geek in general.
Yes.
I like all sci-fi. I like Star Wars. For other TV shows, Babylon 5 is in my top 5 episode or series.
Babylon 5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and Buddy, of course, says thanks to that. And Daybreak is like, cool. And 3 Chevy says, a house divided.
Nope, no divisions here.
Yeah, and everybody loves the tribbles, of course. Tommy over on Facebook says. All right, let's get into it. Let's seriously get into this. All right. So the first thing that I have up, I mean, you already saw the little preview of it, but the first thing that I have up has to deal with making your own stuff. And that includes, I'm assuming it's, well, I'll let you explain, okay? So let's go here, and I'll pop this up. And there we go. That's our first item, order of business. Whoops. Got to be careful where the mouse goes.
Yeah, this isn't the one, because this is one I have on order. It's on its way.
Right. Okay.
It's not this. I got the Ender 3 Pro.
Uh-huh.
But I chose this one just because it was cheaper.
Oh, okay.
Not everyone has, Santa money, right?
Right. All right. So let me ask you this. What are you planning on doing with this?
Oh, first it's going to be tool accessories.
Right.
I have Milwaukee pack-out stuff, like many people do.
Okay.
And I'm going to get battery holders.
Right.
I mount them on my bulkhead in my van.
Uh-huh.
So they're just right there.
Right.
I'm also going to have tool attachments where you hook it onto where the battery goes and throw it upside down.
Yeah.
So it's easier to get to.
Well, you're not the only one, because Outlaw Dog says that she has one and that her husband builds all sorts of things.
I'll get into like helmets, masks, stuff like that.
Right.
But
okay.
I had a friend who has one. He's done all those things, and it's really cool. So I figured this is the year I'm doing it.
Okay. I've actually wanted one for a while, but I haven't had shall we say, the need to get one, and I haven't had it pass through Mrs. Whiskey's filter yet. So, and I use that very, very
well. You look for things that you can make for her, and say, "Look, if I get this, I can make you these things."
Yeah.
Okay. See, that's how you got to work it.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Right, honey?
Yeah, exactly. But
you somewhere else.
There is one thing that I do know, because of my regular day job. There are a bunch of people in my industry that use it for a bunch of different things. And they did say that there are a couple of tricks and things that you kind of have to tweak. One of them, of course, is to have a heated platform. And that way you make it easier to like take the plastic pieces, and there's different types of plastics. And you can even make things out of rubber, I believe. And
I've been really watching videos on the different types of filament.
Right.
And there's ones you make that where it's flexible.
Uh-huh.
There's ones that has copper in it. There's ones that are conductive. You can even use it or make something that will interact with a touchscreen.
Right. Okay.
There's ones that has wood in it.
Yeah. Okay.
But those are all specialty items, and you got to get special tips. And some stuff you can heat treat in your oven to make them harder, so they'll last like in your car.
Okay.
But it's special filament that you got to do special things with.
Yeah, so 3 Chevy, it's pretty much there's a bunch of different ones, and there's different types of plastics as well, like the PVC. I think it's PEF, and one other type that is typical in terms of the plastics. But you can actually make it out of other materials. I believe rubber is one, and also, like you said, there actually is a wood one too, which is interesting. But anyway, most of it is going to be plastics. Most of it.
Various forms of plastic.
Yeah, most of them. Okay, so and you're planning on just making a bunch of utilitarian items. You're not going to do like
At first,
figurines. Or...
Oh no, I've got ideas in my head. Like, okay, the child in me wants to make a Master Chief helmet.
Oh right,
Or a Darth Vader helmet, a Stormtrooper helmet, stuff like that.
All right.
The normal geek things.
Okay. Well, geek things for sure. Now, just so you're aware, Outlaw Dogs, who is a wonderful person, says if you need help set up, Mr. Outlaw knows all the tricks. So she's offering that to you once you get it all set up and everything else.
Well, I've got my friend who was coming over to help me set it up, and he does CNC stuff at his job, so he knows all the ins and outs of this kind of stuff.
Right.
Slicers and whatnot. That's how you divide your image up into chunks so it can print.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm taking care of it, but if I need any help, I'll reach out.
Yeah. Definitely. And just so just to give you an idea. Digging down in the depths of hell.
So let's all sing Christmas carols while he's gone.
Okay, so
he's back.
So here's the thing. This is a device that somebody created a couple years back for my industry that I work in. It's called the device is called the WLAN Pi, and it's actually a troubleshooting tool. But they 3D print, and actually, let me back up so I can get. Go back to the interview stage so people can actually see this. So this is a 3D printed case for the device that actually goes inside. Now I pulled this one out of it, but they went ahead and they built like a little, this is for, to connect this and hold it. And so there's a bunch of different things that you can do. And they put in like little captive screw pieces in it and stuff, so you can do that. I mean, it's a great little case. This plastic's really hard, so these are really cool. 3D printers are awesome, I think, and then of course, you might actually get to the point where you might 3D print, your own weapon and have it unregistered like Joe Biden thinks. But anyway. If I see you on the news like John Malkovich in the line of fire with the little plastic shooter, anyway,
it's good for one shot.
Yeah. So well, actually, it was good for 2. He had 2 rounds in the thing. But yeah. Anyway. So plastic. I mean, 3D printers are awesome, but you do need to keep them. My understanding is you need to keep them climate controlled. And that kind of stuff, because of course you don't want the plastic changing temperatures, humidity, and that kind of stuff all at the same time. So anyway, so do you have any idea?
You've got a lot of questions going on here.
Yes, you do. So Buddy is asking, how do you measure for your fabrication? I would think.
I have no idea.
Well, I think that it depends on the size of the thing, but I would imagine that you would probably use some kind of a caliper scale. The kind that have the jaws that look like this.
Yeah, I've actually ordered one off of Amazon. So
Yep.
It'll be here soon.
Yeah, and then you can do the applications that are used, the slicer that he was talking about, and that's where you do your drawings, and then you break up that drawing into different pieces. So, for an example, these two, the orange and the gray were actually 3D printed separately with the captive screws. The screws here go all the way through both cases to tie it together. and that kind of stuff. So, that's kind of how you do that. When it comes in, you got to be a little creative to figure out how to break it up into parts and pieces and things like that.
And unfortunately, most other people have already thought up what you want to make, and there's all kinds of online libraries of those files.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Okay, so that's that, and it comes with all of these different items that are here, just kind of showing you some of the tools and stuff that are in it, and then you kind of put it together. I actually, the organization that I'm a part of that does this conference every year, they do boot camps ahead, and they would actually do 3D printing classes. They had 3D printing classes where you would get one, put it together, and then they would teach you how to do all the 3D printing. So that was kind of fun. I never did it. I wanted to, but I couldn't justify where I was going to put the damn thing. So anyway, all right.
Or I darn well want to.
Yeah, well, yeah, you, well, yeah, okay. Anyway, we're not going to go anywhere with that one. All right, so let's move on to item number 2. Item number 2 is actually a remix. I say remix, but I'm bringing it back from 2021. And the reason being why, it's because it is, I kind of like it. I like it a lot. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this is from Man Crates.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I think you're the one that put this up in 2021 about this.
Okay, sure.
So anyway, Man Crates, this one is the exotic meats crate. There's a bunch of other stuff on here. If you go to mancrates.com, mancrates.com, you can take a look through all of their things. But this one here in particular, this is an exotic meats crate. I know Jay is really into jerky, so Jay can probably get something for himself, or maybe toss this in front of his wife and tell his wife, hey, give me this. Anyway.
Did I leave this page open? Huh.
Yeah. So, but in the box, in this exotic meats crate, there's venison, wild boar, buffalo, elk, smoked bit-long beef jerky. I have no idea what that is. Wild boar, duck, ostrich, and yeah. So there you go. Those are all the different ones, and then of course they have elk and venison. Those are common. But yeah. So this is like a nice little thing that you can put together. And again, as I said, they also have things broken up like holiday occasions. You can do holiday favorites, advent calendars, stocking stuffers, gifts, etc. There's the relationship, whether you're you're buying it for your husband, dad, son, friend, coworker. You can also personalize these things. And then they also have some drinks, and hey, check it out right here. Whiskey.
Alcohol.
Yeah, whiskey. Take a look. Let's take a quick look at this real quick. So here is, they stole one. But here is things like the whiskey appreciation crate, personalized whiskey crate, things like that. There's a bunch of stuff. There's like the oak bottle infuser, which is kind of what this barrel does but this is actually a full-on whiskey making kit. But anyway, so yeah, so there's a whole bunch of things out there. You can go and check that out for your guy in your life, or even just somebody that enjoys
like
those kinds
too.
of things. It doesn't even have to be a guy, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anybody. It could be anybody that enjoys meat. And then there's also things like cooking and grilling. So in the cook section, there's gifts here. And then there's also the barbecue, which is where you live most of the time. Hickory grilling crate, Rib Master, Everest grill crate. I mean, there's a bunch of different little packages and stuff like that put together. So I thought I'd bring that back because it's really, really nice to do, in my mind. Okay. All right. And yes, it is.
Yeah, really nice.
It is great. Jerky. Some of it is jerky. Redford. Some of them are jerky. Oh yes. And Music Man says, I've got to send this to Hannah. I probably do. And the reason why is because Hannah is she's in this diet phase where she's doing like a carnivore diet kind of idea. I mean, I know she's kind of like slid back and forth and stuff like that. The website again is called mancrates.com, mancrates. Now, keep in mind, everything that I'm going to show you originally has a link in the description, in the show notes, or the description of the videos. So you can go to the videos. Unfortunately, some of them are kind of obscure, so you may not be able to guess which one it is. I didn't necessarily keep them in order, but you at least can find the link. The links out there. This one I think is like the top one or second to top one or something like that. I think. I don't know. Anyway. All right. So I thought I'd bring that back. Okay. So let's go on to the next item. Since we're talking about meat, let's go ahead and talk about this.
This one I brought up. My first smoker was an electric. Was a Bussman.
Okay.
And that's how I got hooked. So it was a Father's Day gift, and I haven't stopped smoking since. Shut up.
Don't yell at the dogs. Come on.
Yes, the dogs were laughing at me.
Okay. All right. And by the way, folks, he has two, they're not Chihuahuas. They're close. They are Chihuahuas?
They're mixed.
They're mixes. Right. All right.
Dachshund and Chihuahua, so they're extra yappy.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're dog sitting for a friend. He has a kind of Labradoodle, but it's a smaller version.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anyway, that's fun.
That's fun.
Yeah. Fixed.
So, all right. So let's get back on track here. We kind of got off on the dogs. Yeah, I know. I need that. I need my train here. Hold on. There we go. Got off on track. Okay. So this actually looks like it can break down into two separate barbecue grills. You can do it as a smoker. You can even use it as a fire pit. So it seems like it's pretty versatile. Not electric.
Electric is a good way to get started because anytime you have to add wood to a thing, you're sitting there watching it.
Right.
I don't have the patience for that.
Yeah.
I don't have the stick-to-itiveness on that end to do it. So that's why I like my Traeger, even though Traeger has its drawbacks.
Mm-hmm.
It works for me.
And it looks like they've got two separate. Now this is a charcoal. Just to be clear, this is a charcoal one.
Yeah.
But it's in charcoal actually. So we had a barbecue guy come in to here locally, and I kicked him out, or I didn't kick him out. I hung out with them a little bit because I wanted to get into what they did, and they actually used charcoal for all of their stuff. And that was professional. I mean, he had, like a trailer kind of setup. But
that's going to be my retirement plan.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right. So it looks like, Jody 121 is saying, check out my smoker, which is a Meadow Creek TS250. I've had way too much of this already. Anyway, Meadow Creek TS250, to check out that smoker. So that's great. And yes, charcoal and wood and everything else. These are great when the, when the power goes out and stuff like that. That was a good point. And no, Bam, unfortunately, it's not Santa Claus, but it's pretty close. He's pretty close. He's been mistaken for Santa Claus quite often.
I had a little girl one time convinced I was Santa Claus.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And eventually, when I go totally white, then I'm going to go and get a very nice Santa suit and just walk around all the time in it.
As far as going totally white, my wife, Mrs. Whiskey, found, because I was talking to her about it, and Mrs. Whiskey found a hair whitening system. Like you can actually whiten it. It was for your beard, but you can actually whiten your hair, I guess. So I may end up having to do that because I obviously am never ever going to be fully.
We're the
gray.
same age.
Well, I understand that, but you know, I mean,
I'm letting them know.
oh, okay. Okay.
It's not about you.
Yeah.
Oh, God, selfish.
Hello, it's my show. It's always about me. Huh? All right. No, it's actually about the subscribers, all the people that are out there watching and listening, try and make things entertaining for them. All right. So, smokers, obviously. Hey, and guess what? Are you guessing a theme to this particular little subsection? Let me show you. Omaha Steaks. You want some of that meat to go and smoke? Go to Omaha Steaks. Now, Dan Bongino advocates for these guys. I'm going to be honest with you. They seem a little bit pricey. And there are other places that you can go. I think there's like Good Ranchers.
Your local
is another
butcher,
one.
perhaps. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Your local butcher.
That's right. You can go to your local butcher.
I have a couple good meat markets in my area, so I am fortunate.
Right.
But yeah, the online places are a little pricey, but you can get, you know, if you really want the Wagyu, the Kobe,
Oh,
all
right.
that really expensive stuff.
Yeah. So Good Ranchers is
that
another
local.
one. Yeah. Bam, pop that up. And then also 3 Chevy wanted to remind us that some of us don't need any help whitening their beards. Well, excuse me. Okay. Jeez. Yeah, no kidding. Come on.
Just means you're old, that's all.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there. Trust me. They also have, outside of just meats and things like that, they also have some desserts. And apparently the apple tartlets, according to Outlaw Dogs, the apple tartlets are really good. So, anyway, yeah, so I thought I'd throw that in there, Omaha Steaks. We kind of talked about this. I think it was in 2021 also, but I hear Dan Bongino talk about it. He raves about them. I know his producer Guy raves about them because he's always in Dan's freezer getting the meat. I guess it must be a perk to work for Dan and get free meat. But anyway, so yeah, so let's that's another place you can probably take a look at and, just take a look and see, maybe give it a try. I might give it a try. I keep talking about it, but I never actually go and do it. But
Look up extra thick bacon.
on this,
No, I think I got it from someplace else.
oh,
but
okay.
Just once, buy some extra thick bacon.
Okay.
It's like almost half an inch thick. I
Ooh.
bought it for my dad for his birthday one year,
Right.
and he told me he cooked it in the microwave.
Oh my gosh.
I
Did
almost
you,
reached
did
for his
you,
phone and slapped him.
did you like disown him?
Damn near. I was like, how could you?
Oh, so
You
here's,
don't take a premium product and cook it in the microwave,
Yeah.
especially bacon. I mean, I know you can do
There
it.
we
It
go.
can be done, but it has to be thin.
Ugh.
But I mean, I had trouble cooking it in my cast iron. It just took forever. It was
Yeah.
so thick.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, obviously when you get them that thick, let's see what Boar's Head comes up with. If Boar's Head will come through. Yeah, there we go. But of course it doesn't go directly to it. It just gives me this. So you'll have to dig in. Extra thick bacon though. Yeah, I can see that. Anyway. All right. My mouth is watering enough. Let's move on.
Sorry, tangent.
Yeah, it is what it is. But if
It's
you
what
have
it
a
is.
local butcher, sure, and you can get a good one too.
Mhm.
Like Julianne points out here from Facebook. Yes, use your local butcher if you've got them. Yeah, if you can get a good one, that's really good, and especially if you can get an in with them. My dad had an in when he was alive. God rest his soul. When he was alive, he had an in with the Safeway butcher, and somehow he ended up getting like all of the prime cuts of everything.
Yeah, of all the people you want to know a butcher.
Yeah, whenever he would go in the store, it was funny. He'd go in the store and the butcher would be like, "Hey, Mal, come on over." And, my dad would go over there and he'd be like, "Hey, I got something good for you here." And he'd show him, and then, "You want some?" Yeah, it's almost like drug dealers, man. Back of the car.
Yeah, there are certain people you want to have as friends, so seek them out.
Yes, yes.
Butcher, an electrician, a plumber.
Yep. Present company included.
Electrician.
Yes.
Not plumber.
I know.
They don't know.
Well, I know they don't know, but okay, fine. All right. Anyway. It looks like
IT guy.
Oh, yes, an IT guy. Oh, that wasn't the one that I wanted. It was this one here. Buddy says Kansas City steaks are delivered as well.
I liked Buddy Weiser's comment. You also get a free styrofoam cooler.
Oh, yes. Okay. Free styrofoam cooler. Yeah. You can use that to make napalm. Wait, did I say that? No, I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on. All right.
You have a certain handbook? You do.
Oh, well, I mean, sorry.
Boy.
Yeah, it's military. And
Too optical now. Cool.
Well, all right. So we went off the tracks again. Okay, so let's get back on track and we'll go on to the bartender kit. Now, this is kind of interesting. For those that don't know, I actually trained as a bartender. This was a while ago, a long time ago, probably, I'd already met Mrs. Whiskey at that point. So this is at least 20 years ago when I did this. But
can you pour a beer?
Yes, of course I can. Can I get a good head on beer? Absolutely. No. I said, can I get a good head on beer? Not, I can. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
I'm not going there. I wasn't touching that one.
By the way, I just saw, so that's Mrs. Unicorn that you guys are talking to, right over here on Rumble.
Oh, where is she?
She popped in. There she is. She's on Rumble.
Oh,
so there.
Saw that.
Yep.
So why can't I type in there?
Okay, great. I have no idea. You might have to refresh. I know there's some okay, maybe try a different browser. I don't know. There's some strangeness occasionally that happens with Rumble. I actually was streaming one time and lost the entire Rumble chat, like just gone. I mean, it was just really weird. Anyway.
Okay. Sorry. Question. Jody, what kind of food truck you got?
Oh, that's a good point.
I'm curious. I like food trucks.
Jody has a food truck? Where did that come from?
That's what it says. Supplies our food truck. So it means she has a food truck.
Where the heck? I missed that. I missed it somewhere. Okay. And Outlaw Dogs, no, I was not. Well, Brian Flanagan, no. But I was accused at one point being the Tom Cruise character. I don't know if that's Brian Flanagan or not. But Brian Flanagan, I thought was the what's his name? He was in FX also, and I can't think of his name. Australian guy. Shoot, I can't remember. Anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Buddy is saying log in again. So you got to log out and log back in.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's just, hey, these guys are good with this. Anyway, so where were we? Oh, yes. We were at the bartender kit. 16-piece stainless steel cocktail shaker set with stylish bamboo stand and cocktail recipe booklets, professional bar tools for drink mixing, home bar, and parties. I'm going to be honest with you. These are actually pretty cool, especially if you are in Ohio. Or not in Ohio. Sorry, I just read Jody was saying in Ohio is where the truck is. Jody has, there it is, OTR Smokehouse LLC on Facebook. That's the truck. OTR Smokehouse. All right.
Well, I will be on my way.
Yeah. All right. In Ohio. Okay, so anyway, so the bartending kit, I mean, it comes with all of the basics. You've got the muddler right here, which is the big look. I won't say what it looks like.
Beating stick.
Yeah, the big stick. You got the jigger, which looks like that's about a 1/2 ounce and then maybe a 1.5. You've got some pour stoppers to stick in your well bottles, well drinks. You got the strainer there. Looks like ice tongs. Some stir sticks and garnish holders. Those are those little things on the end there, with the little ball on the top. And then of course we've got the spoon. You use that spoon, the bar spoon, you use that to like pour things in. And then of course the mixer to do all of that. I actually still have a lot of this from my class. I was going to be a bartender, but I found out there was one big problem with me being a bartender. I wasn't attractive enough. No, seriously. I wasn't necessarily told that, but believe me, after interviewing about 50 times and being passed over, it was kind of obvious when
So what decade was that you tried?
Oh, well, this is 20 years ago. So, or
90s?
Almost 30 years ago. Yeah. Mid to late 90s.
Okay. So yeah, cocktails was still fresh in everyone's mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway.
You're not Tom Cruise.
Women. Yeah, I know. Anyway, women bartenders actually attract more males, and the males are the ones that actually do most of the drinking. Was the thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so this is a pretty cool set, and it looks like there's some drinks. I wonder if they have a listing of what drinks. Yeah, don't ever flip the bottles. I'm going to tell you that right now, because your bosses will really hate you, because it spills alcohol out of the bottle and wastes them money.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's going out your paycheck, sucker.
Yeah, that's why a lot of bars and stuff have gone over to those spigots that you press the buttons on, because it actually pours out specifically the exact amount rather than the guesstimates like what this guy is doing in this, where he's just kind of pouring and just guesstimating. And yes, at one time I knew exactly how long to do the pours and all of that stuff. So that was kind of cool. All right. So let's move on a little bit. If you're looking at getting a bar kit, you also could possibly go over to Flaviar and
it's Flaviar, not Flaviar.
Flaviar, whatever, and join a club.
Flavors? Sorry.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Anyway, it's an exclusive spirits society, and you could pass on a gift for somebody would actually get this throughout the year. The different things, different whiskeys and that to try, whiskeys, bourbons, scotches, rye, etc.
Yeah, I got.
Oh, somebody came into or is on their way to come into the studio. Anyway. All right. Go ahead. Continue, please.
No, go full screen.
Yeah?
Full screen.
You want, wait.
Us big.
Like this.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I am a member, or was, last year. It is a bit pricey.
Okay.
It was $400 for the year. You get these free. You can choose any kind of alcohol you want. And this one just happens to be rum.
Okay.
So you get 3 grams of rum. Mm-hmm. You get, in the top of this, comes with basically a coaster, ceramic coaster, but it gives you cards that tell you all about the flavors. You see that? That's the upside down. Tell all the flavors that you're going to be tasting, or you should be tasting if you have a good palate.
Right. Okay.
That kind of stuff. And there are videos on how to drink it, neat or on the rocks.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Right.
So it is a nice little thing, and you get special discounts on other spirits from their vault, which I don't know why they're called in their vault, but made up scarcity, that kind of thing.
Hang on just a second. Yes, I'm on video. Here she comes. There's Mrs. Whiskey. She wants to say hi.
Hi, Miss Whiskey.
Hi, Santas.
Anyway, there you go. All right.
All Santas are created equal.
Yes.
I am alive.
Yes, she is alive. She's my better half. Definitely my better half. You guys should check out our Valentine episode that we did 2 years ago. That would be kind of cool. But you can go back and check out the Valentine episode and see all four of us together, and talking about stuff. Really quick, T. Brooks, who missed Wednesday's episode. Wednesday is when I do a pet of the week, where I highlight a pet submission from my fans. They send me the photos and the names and everything, and so I highlight the pet of the week. And last week happened to be Honey's debut for that, and that was submitted by T. Brooks. So T. Brooks, go back and watch Wednesday's episode. It's right about the middle of the show when I try and do it, and you can go ahead and pop in there and see. So, okay. So that was that. So let me see. What do we have next? Oh, this one's mine. And gee, I wonder what the topic is going to be here. Is it going to be? Yes, it is. Another whiskey. All right. So this is Whiskey Advocate. And I haven't used it, but it caught my eye. And it goes through, and again, it does, like, it talks to you about whiskey, basics, how to become an instant expert. There's videos, there's clubs, you can subscribe to it. There's the top 20, you can check out ratings. So for an example, you can check out the ratings on different whiskeys. And you can search for them. You can search, like, for an example, if I want to let me do my red breast. This is my other favorite. Let's see what we get here. Hello. Oh, I guess I have to click the button search. And yep. So there's the Kentucky Oak Edition. And, it has a score of 93 out of what? 100? I'm assuming that's
Probably.
100. So that's got a pretty high score. Now, this is a really pricey bottle at $95. I don't pay that much, because I don't drink this Kentucky Oak Edition version. But let's check out.
Would you ever consider buying a very expensive bottle of whiskey?
Oh yeah, I would eventually. I mean, if I'm gonna, like, treat myself, sure. For something.
Do you have an example? And no, I'm not going to buy it for you.
Well, they don't make it anymore, but the cask, cask 18 from Crown Royal, they don't make it anymore, but that was a good one that I really enjoyed. Trying to think of some of the other top shelf stuff. I can't think of, like, right off the top of my head, but yeah, I mean, I suppose I would. It's $100 bottle. I mean, the Chivas Blue is pretty high up there. I mean, as far as, like, dollars are. So yeah. Does it let you search Scotch? This is Murat. Yes, I believe so. Let me see if there is a Scotch. Let's see. German, French, Indian, Irish, Japanese, Liechtenstein. Wait, did I just see? Oh God, I thought this said Putin. I was like, wait a minute, Putin whiskey? What the heck? Okay. Yes, single grain Scotch. So there's your single grain Scotch whiskeys. And let me take out that and see what it says. I'm just looking for single. There it is. So there's some of your single grain Scotches that pop up. But apparently, I mean, it's got a whole bunch of different ways you can search. You can find it by brand. You can find it by style, what kind of, when it was issued, that kind of stuff, or do it off a keyword. You can also do it based off of score and price range. So this is a pretty decent place. I mean, it's whiskeyadvocate.com, and that's kind of fun to go and take a look at. So anyway, all right, let's move on to our next item. Okay, this one's yours.
This is a fun one.
Yeah.
I like, the desktop little gadgets, just to, Newton's Cradle, those kind of things. This is along that line. It's a perpetual motion machine that, hey, look, you plug in, so therefore not. But if you can hide the cord, then it looks like a perpetual motion machine. The ball drops down and lands back in the top.
Yeah, so it continually spins. Oh, and I guess I have a switch back in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know those old. Old. So you know those things where they have like the 5 balls, and you take the one and you click click back and forth. Yeah, those things will eventually stop. Just going to tell you right now, they don't continue to go. I wish they did. I would have driven my boss nuts with it, because he had one on his desk, and I keep, I would.
Yeah, my grandfather had one. I'd play that for hours.
Yeah. Ooh. So really quick, Music Man said that just going back to the whiskey tasted ice vine, which apparently is almost $700 for an 8-ounce bottle.
Oh my God.
Okay. Maybe if I win the lottery. Anyway.
Yeah, even then.
Yeah, well, I mean, questionable. All right, I'm going to bring us out of this for just a second, and I'm going to see what our next... Oh, okay. So this next item that's on the list, this is one that I provided. I did it last year, I believe, but it turns out that my son actually got turned on to this stuff, and he, not from my show, but from elsewhere.
Speed kills, man. Come on.
And what?
Speed kills. Don't do speed.
No. That's not it. That's not
something else. I'm sorry.
Yeah, something else. This is to make you smell good. Guys, I'm telling you, this stuff is some really good stuff. But there are certain things in it that certain ones in it that I don't care for, but my son and I have tried it, and there are some really good smelling soaps in here and that kind of stuff. It is the Dr. Squatch. And I'll be completely honest with you. The pine tar, I didn't really care for. But some of the other ones that are in here, some of the other scents that are in here they smell really good. They've got one that smells like cedar wood chips. They've got another one that is almost like Irish Spring, fresh smelling, fresh minty kind of smell, and that kind of stuff. But these are some pretty decent products, and they're made for men. That's all they are. They're made for men. Now, not saying that a woman can't use it. But it is designed for men. They're all natural too. So if you have issues with, sensitivity to certain types of chemicals and that kind of stuff, you can go ahead and do this and use Dr. Squatch. Dr. Squatch is good stuff. My wife actually used to buy it locally. So you don't necessarily have to, have it sent, although that's where my son first started it. But yeah, Dr. Squatch, scrub yourself up, give your man something.
Purchased it locally also and tried it out.
Yeah.
I think it may not work with certain body chemistry types.
Right.
Because for me, it basically stripped away all of my oils. I mean, it kind of almost dried out my skin. That's just me.
Okay.
And the scent didn't actually linger past the shower for me.
Oh, okay.
So results may vary. Yes. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's all natural, so it's good in that way, and it does get you clean. But like I said, it stripped all the oils off my body and it made it uncomfortable.
Right. Okay. I'm sorry, Outlaw Dogs on Rumble said she used her son's body wash once accidentally and walked around smelling all manly all day. Anyway. Okay. So anyway, yeah, it's just an option. I mean, it's something that people can try, but yes, you can buy it locally. I wasn't aware that you could buy it locally until my wife started bringing it home for him.
I've seen it recently in the past year in the stores.
Yeah.
So they've branched out.
Yep. Yep. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So let me, because there's a couple in here and we're getting close to the point. There's a couple in here that I want to prelude things to. That's why I keep switching things back and forth. Okay. All right. This next one looks like it is for the puzzle people that are out there. It is your submission.
Yeah. I was fascinated with that one from National Treasure. Right. That was Da Vinci's Codex box thing.
Right.
And I've always wanted one, never got one, but now I can.
So what you could probably do is put in, oh, geez, the default password is I love you. Okay.
Lame.
Yeah, kind of. But anyway, so what you could do is you could go and like put in, let's just say a ring, a piece of jewelry, something like that. And surprise, now what I've done in the past, like with my wife, and she would like to kill me for this, but what I have done in the past is I've taken and wrapped boxes inside of boxes, inside of boxes, inside of boxes, and
done that,
made it to where it's like 10 boxes deep, and she has to go and keep opening up another present and another present.
Never forgiven me for that. Still.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny once. After that, yeah, no, it's no, sorry.
I swear to God, there's one more layer of box. I'm throwing in the fireplace.
Well, I actually, at one point, I wanted to do one of those things where you put like the jewelry box inside of the teddy bear and then the teddy bear inside of something else and that kind of stuff. I wanted to take
the teddy bear. Cool.
Well, I wanted to take it all the way up to, a refrigerator box, but I don't wrap.
No. You start off with the giant teddy bear from Costco.
Oh yeah, I guess so. And then like the nested,
shove it in there.
Okay. So like the nested, what are they? The Russian dolls or something?
That would be mean as hell.
Yeah. Well, anyway. All right. I think, Three Chevy goes, I did that once. I think everybody does. Guys just want to, they just want to like laugh, I think sometimes. So I know I do. I always try to make jokes at my wife's expense. It's like I say, when you get married, you want to find the one person that you want to irritate and annoy for the rest of your life. And that's who you marry. Okay. I'm doing a good job, let me tell you. Okay. So what's our next one on the list? Oh, this is
Outlaw Dogs. That's just mean.
Huh? What?
That we gave the Marines a case of MREs after boot camp for Christmas.
Oh. Yeah, but you know what? The MREs, though, at least the ones that I had, I loved the spaghetti one because it came with a little bottle of Tabasco sauce, and it was great. I mean, then again, I'm not much of a gourmet, so there you go. What was that line from Rambo? I think he can eat things that'll make a billy goat puke. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. All right, so this is another one of yours. So let me bring this up. This starts, okay, so this starts our winter heat section of gifts, okay? So here we go. This is the first one. It's that hand warmer.
Okay. When I started looking for things, I made the mistake of typing in toys for women. Yeah, that's what came up. I did toys for men first, and I got actual toys. Toys for women.
Wow.
Yeah, I got those toys.
Oh,
none but those toys.
That would have been.
Hey, if you want to give that as a gift, go for it. Don't put it in a white elephant situation.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But this I thought was really good. A rechargeable hand warmer.
Yeah, definitely. Whew. That's kind of like, don't ever, if you don't know what this is, I'm telling you right now, if you do not know what this is, do not look up Merkin. Merkin. Just don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it.
Well, now I have to.
Yeah, well, you can go ahead and do that on your own time. I did an episode where I unfortunately got pulled in. I had to do a Merkin. So you can even check out one of my other episodes. It actually is in the title. So yeah, you can go and take a look at the Merkins, and see. I pulled up some example. I got to tell you, that was the most embarrassing show. Look at me. I'm already turning red. I'm getting hot here. For that particular item. Anyway. Okay. So moving on.
Thank you, honey. Oh my God.
Yeah. So this is a hand warmer. Apparently you just, it's perfect size, fit in your hands, blah, blah, blah. Ooh, look, you can even use it together. You can hold hands and hold it at the same time. Isn't that great? Oh, check that tagline.
No.
Your hand will be warm just as if your lover was there. Okay. All right. So you started off with the whole gadgets for women. I see it right up here. Toys for women. There it is.
Yeah.
Gadgets for women.
Don't don't do it.
Oh God, I'm not doing it. Nope. And yes, no, I never showed the Merkin pic. Sorry, Outlaw Dogs, not going to happen. Not on this show. Okay. Anyway. All right. Moving on. So next item in our heat section, and I have to actually bounce back because I want to see what it is first before I show it. Oh, okay. So guys, I'm going to tell you this right now, guys. Yes, Coco Dominky, you are back. You must have had to log out and come back in. Okay. So here's the thing. Guys, when you go to bed, does your lady friend put her cold ass toes on you? Does she take her icicles that are streaming from her feet and put them on your back or your legs in order to...
Someone's losing toes then.
In order to warm them up? I have the gift for you right now. I'm telling you, this is absolutely awesome. These are microwavable slippers. You can take these and stick them into the microwave to help warm up your wife's or significant other's feet before they come to bed, so that they don't touch you with their cold ass feet. I get it all the time.
You're going to need to put a microwave next to your bed so she can put them in the microwave in the morning. Otherwise, guess who's putting them in the microwave for her?
Well, but that's fine. I'm talking about going to bed. Okay. I'm talking about going to bed. There's no way. I'm sorry. I get it all the time. My wife is like, hey, are my feet cold? And I'm like, yeah.
Hey, is this machete sharp?
Yeah. I love my wife, but yeah, she loves to do that to me. She's like, I'm so cold. Let me warm me up. Put your feet, I'm sitting here all nice and warm and comfortable. I get into bed. I'm all like, yeah, I'm all like all nice and warm and everything. And she goes and puts her fucking cold ass ice feet next to me and like tries to like put them inside and wraps around my legs. Just like, oh, I don't want, no. I don't want that. So this is it. I actually specifically looked for something like this. So if you want to keep and avoid that from happening, give them microwavable slippers so they can warm their feet up prior to coming to bed. Now, granted, unfortunately, it only comes in the color gray, but that's okay. I don't really care. They're microwavable and they're called warmies. That's what they are. So there you go. All right. Next up. What? What are you sighing for?
No, just stupid names for things.
Oh, yeah, well, Okay. Well, hey, you know what? My hubby does that to me. So apparently it's across the both genders.
Yeah, you all need to marry people who aren't dicks, all right? That's all I'm saying.
No, remember my motto. Always marry the one that you want to annoy the rest of your life. That's what they're doing. They're annoying their partner for the rest of their life. That's what they're doing. Anyway, okay. So this I am actually thinking of getting, or at least my mother probably has one already. In fact, I think she does. But this is this is fantastic. This is your submission, and this is also in our heat category, but check this out.
Yeah.
This is for those people who are consistently cold. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Standing out in soccer for soccer games and things like that, that is, these are just absolutely great. I mean, my only problem is I'd be afraid I'd get electrocuted. But
it's 12-volt system, so no.
Yeah, well, anyway. But the point being, though, is that these are fantastic. I think my mom has one, to be honest with you. And
I've seen a lot of different styles of these. Milwaukee even makes a heated jacket.
Yeah. Now, how long does it last? I wonder.
Never long enough.
They say 8 to 10 working hours.
Oh, wow.
So
that's significant.
Yeah. Intelligent heating, so you can use your own power bank to charge and heat up the jacket up to 8 to 10 working hours. So that's cool.
Oh, so if you have a separate USB battery.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
On long flights or whatnot.
Yeah, I'm
that'd
guessing.
Be cool. Yeah, that's smart.
But yeah, I mean, can you just imagine all the times that your friends, mates, mothers, whatever. I mean, my mother, she lives in Arizona. She comes up here and I try to keep the house warm. But sometimes it's not warm enough for her. So she'll walk around in her jacket with the electric heater in it. And it's actually, it works. I mean, it's good. And the price isn't bad too. I mean, this is between, $20 to $40.
Yeah, I specifically chose things that were not super expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's good. But anyone who gets cold or is cold, there you go.
Women in general.
In general, yes. I'm sorry. I'm just reading some of the comments over in Rumble. All right, moving on. Okay, so our next item up on the list. Oh, this one's mine. So if you don't want to use the electric one, okay, you can always get your wife or significant other who's always cold this. And this basically is a wearable blanket, hoodie, sweatshirt. And it's a lounging pullover. So they basically put this thing on and you just start lounging. Let's see if it'll show. Oh, okay. It scrolls. All right. And I don't know, maybe this is stylish or not. I have no idea. God, why would somebody do that in the house? Anyway, but I guess it's like flannel and Sherpa on the inside.
Well, some people don't want to turn the heat on because expensive.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
And if you got baseboard heat, in an apartment,
yeah,
you're just throwing your money away. That's horrible.
Right.
Wear one of those.
Yep. And just to go back real quick, apparently Julianne over on Facebook says that she has one, and it lasted about 6 hours, but she had on all three sections. The front and shoulders, back, and the hood, all of them on.
Well, you can't say breast?
Well, with this crew, I don't know. I did already break the barrier though by saying Merkin. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I looked it up. What the hell? Really?
That's for when you're really cold. Okay, really cold.
Oh,
by the way,
I'm never that cold.
There we go. This is another train, another derailment. Okay. All right. So anyway, it very well could be static electricity collector. Julianne says that's a static electricity collector. Well, but that's cool because once you collect the static, you can go and shock your friend or husband, wife, whatever.
Yeah, who's in the house with you, so it'll be your husband or wife, depending on who's wearing it.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, so I thought I'd add that. And
Fun for cats and dogs.
well, it's all right. And so I have one other heat related item. This one actually I found, believe it or not, when I was going and looking for, I put in the best women's unique gifts for women. And, I ended up coming up with this, but I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? This is actually pretty cool. So the things that we had earlier, those were to warm up your outsides. This is to warm up your...
Is it a heated bedroom toy?
No.
Well, that's way you...
Sorry, no, I didn't go that far. You got you've got that one. But this is to heat up your insides. This is make your own hot sauce kit. Now, I saw this and I immediately thought of like my daughter. My daughter absolutely loves hot sauce. She can down bottles of the stuff. And so I looked at this and I said, you know what? This would be pretty kind of neat for somebody who is into hot sauces and wants to make their own stuff. Okay. So, you make custom sauces that highlight each chili's flavor notes instead of just burning your mouth is what they said. But the thing about it is that I guess you can go and it comes with the bottles and the chilies and all of the spices, and you add the vinegar to it. And this is from the Uncommon Goods. And I can tell you this is the last link on it, but this is something that would be kind of cool. Now, again, it came up when I was looking for women's gifts, but I know some men that would love to do this too. And I think it'd be kind of neat just to have it and try and make your own sauces for those DIYers. It sounds like you're typing furiously in the background there, Mr. Kirk. To
no.
And so anyway, so they apparently, you make your own small batch and you learn how to make your own hot sauce with the simple instructions. Now, let me just click on this and see what I can come up with in terms of the instructions here. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit here.
Pour crap in bottle, closed bottle. Wow.
Remove the stems. Use provided gloves to protect the hands if you want. Grind the peppers.
Oh, yeah.
Seeds are okay. And then you add boiling water, let it to rest and absorb the hot water, and then add fresh or canned tomatoes, onion, garlic, cilantro, pureed carrots if you want. And then just add the other powders. It looks like it's pretty easy to do. So
age for 2 weeks.
Huh? Yeah. Age for 2 weeks. Right here, down here at the bottom. But it looks like it's pretty easy to do. So this would be pretty cool. And it would also, as Outlaw Dogs kind of points out, it might make a great stocking stuffer for that hot person that, anyway, I don't know where I'm going with that. So I'm just going to move on. Okay. So there you go. I thought that was pretty cool. That's from Uncommon Goods. So I found that, and that was pretty cool. All right. Now, this next one is coming from, folks, this next one's coming from an electrician. So I'm assuming that you will not get electrocuted with this thing. This is, shoot, wait, I got to get the first picture back up because I ran my mouse over the thing. So here you go. What the hell is this?
It's a TINS unit. It's a electro stimulation shocker kind of thing.
Is this kind of what like Bruce Lee had for building his muscles?
At that level. That one was more intense. This one is more for soothing pains. And I have one, not this one.
Okay.
And I use on my lower back, on my shoulders. It feels great. You can adjust the intensity of the shocks or the patterns of the shock.
Okay. So this is
But
more of
it
like a
really
massaging kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you can play how high can we get it to go on your friend, you know.
Okay, this is off topic, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it out here anyway. So way back in World War II days, okay, they and before I do this, before I tell this story, 3 Chevy says my chiropractor has those. They are great.
Yeah.
But back in the old World War II days, they had field telephones, and these field telephones, you'd see them when people would grab the phone, and actually it's probably more like Vietnam War era, but you would see them when they'd grab the phone and they'd crank. Okay. Well, that crank was the capacitor to charge the battery. All right. And what we had a unit, they were called the wire dogs. But they basically, their job was to essentially string wire from point to point across a battlefield, so you could hook up these phones. And the thing about it is that when you ran the capacitor, you and hold the wires, like you'd connect the wires into the phone, and then you'd have somebody spin the capacitor and you'd hold the wires.
Mm-hmm.
They would have contests to see how long they could actually hold the wires. And you would see these guys and they'd like get hit with and it's DC current, you know, I mean, it's not AC, but they're sitting there and they're just cranking and cranking and cranking as fast as they can go. And they're holding it and they're just like, yeah, you know, however long they could do it. And then they'd bet to see who could hang on to the damn thing the longest. But anyway,
there is an old timey arcade game based on that.
Oh, really?
The only one I've seen was in Disneyland.
Right.
Down on Main Street. And, you know, you hold it as long as you can. And, you know, me being an electrician, I pegged the thing, so no big deal.
Oh.
Man, I get shocked with the 110 all the time. Not on purpose.
Yeah, and and there's just don't worry about my Twitch, man.
You ever see someone get shocked right in front of you on something that could have killed them?
No, actually, but I did have a conversation with an electrician once who said that he got hit with what was it? 4 something, and he got blown off his ladder. It looks like I'm not the only one.
In order to get hit with 40, you had to touch 2 live wires. Yeah.
So he wasn't paying attention, and somebody didn't lock out, tag out, and so he ended up. You know. Anyway, so there's his friend did it in Vietnam. Yep. Yeah, they just the funny things that you do. And Music Man said that they would attach them to metal chairs. Yep. I can just imagine the shock that somebody's sitting down on that damn thing. Anyway. All right. So
hot day.
So this is basically a muscle stimulator for pain relief therapy and things like that. So that's pretty cool.
Being an old guy with pain, I thought this was appropriate.
Yeah, he's an old guy. And I'm just going to throw this up here. Getting shocked with 277 sucks balls.
Amen. That hurts worse than 110. Oh my God. Yeah. Commercial lighting. Yeah. Fun stuff. I know guys that have been hung up on that, and the only way to get unstuck is to drop off the ladder willingly. And you're on a 6 to 8 foot ladder. So
yeah,
do the math.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, it looks like we're not the only ones. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been touching the electric fences. We used to make my cousin pee on it.
Well, that's more voltage than there's no amperage in that. You don't want to kill anybody. Yeah,
correct. But when you're okay, so I have electric fences. I have horse fences, which horses are much more sensitive, so it doesn't have to be turned up quite as high. But cows are stupid, and they need as much voltage as you can get. So we would end up where we would tell my cousin to pee on the cow fence. The bad part about that was that that he would do it, but the worst part about it was he would do it again after we had already taught him. So like a week later, he would go and we'd dare him to hit the wire, and he'd go to pee. And I mean, it's like, are you ever going to freaking learn? So three Chevy points out, Coco, I'm thinking about getting an electric fence. Was it that bad? My wife actually got hit with the horse style when she was pregnant with my son, and it didn't bother her. I mean, you feel it. Don't get me wrong. You do feel it, which is the whole point, but it doesn't do any permanent damage. So, I mean, and if you understand how the fence runs, so like for an example, my neighbors, they knew I had electric fences, but I told them how to beat it, which essentially was if you just isolate yourself from the ground, generally speaking, the way that they have it put in together, if you isolate yourself from the ground, you can grab onto the wire and you won't ever get shocked because obviously it's well, yeah, like rubber boots, that kind of stuff. You know, it's if you grab it and you don't
hold your hand.
Yeah. If you grab it and you don't make the connection, you won't get shocked. And that's the key. So some of them are built. Some of the electric fences are built where every other wire is a ground wire. So it'd be like top wire hot, next wire down would be a ground, and then the next wire down would be hot again. And those places are usually done. They usually do that when the, I think it's the conductivity of the soil is really bad. In my particular case, I just have a couple ground rods driven close by. And so as long as you don't touch the ground and the wire at the same time, or make that connection in the circuit, then everything's okay. The weed, somebody said, it all depends on if there's a weed chopper on the box. What Buddy's talking about there, as far as the weed chopper, is that it ups the charge when more weeds start touching the wire, because obviously it's pulling away some of the electricity. I don't actually have one of those styles. I just have a regular one. But yeah, it doesn't really bother you that much. You might feel it, and then, 5-10 minutes later, you're okay. So no big deal.
Okay, Coco, I'm understanding that statement.
Say what?
If you make a line of people, it increases through each person. I don't understand how that happens.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it really depends on the fences. So if you're touching like a horse fence is because the horses are more sensitive in their skin to it. The charge isn't as high. If you have a cattle fence, though, the cattle fences are generally a lot stronger and are typically adjustable, by the way. So the cattle fence is the one that you really got to watch for. The horse fences are usually only, 6,000 volts or whatever. And Coco says it did with us.
Weird.
So, yeah, interesting. All right. Enough about electricity. Hey, whoever thought that a gift giving episode would pull out some science?
The more you know.
Yeah. Well, I could get weird science. Okay. Speaking about electronics and stuff like that and hands, you might actually be interested in this because, you work with your hands a lot. You do a lot of dexterous things when you're working. So you might be interested in this. This is, if I can keep it on the damn picture, this is a actual hand massager. And it uses heat and compression for arthritis, carpal tunnel. And of course it falls into the gifts for women category, but I would imagine that a man could also
men
use
don't have hands. Yes.
Yeah. Men's don't have hands. Yeah. So anyway, so the point being is obviously if my hands, I'm getting older and, obviously, cause we can't avoid that. Right. But my hands will actually go to sleep at night. Just because when I lay, I'm a side sleeper. So when I lay, my shoulder does something and my hands will fall asleep, and it gets even worse. Actually, I'm like in the front stages of carpal tunnel, I think, because it actually gets worse whenever I do something that is impact related during the day, like hammering or something along those lines. But I'm actually considering maybe getting something like this and seeing if it might help with me being able to sleep at night, to massage my hands and everything else. Cause I work on a computer keyboard all day long. And so, dealing with mice and stuff like mice, meaning mouse like this mouse. not mice, not actual mice, but anyway, and typing and things like that. So this might actually be something that I would be interested in, to be honest with you with it. And apparently it comes in white and black. You got two colors here.
See, that's for the men. The black's for men, obviously.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Black's for men. Seriously. Yeah.
They come in camo.
I wish it did. That would be cool. You could probably paint it though. Just get yourself some foliage out there in the woods and then bring it on in. And then you could spray it with like some brown and some green and maybe a little bit of tan in there, just kind of, if you're looking for the woodland kind of thing. Camo. Huh?
I've seen some horrible homemade camo trucks. Oh, disgusting.
Yeah, well, it happens. It has. Oh, all right. Okay. Yes. My hands fall asleep a lot, and apparently you can do this. You can hook this thing up and let it run. So this would be something I would be curious in, to do. So anyway, so this is, so this link is in there as well. I thought that was kind of curious. That would be cool. All right. So this next one, we can't say anything about it, okay? Because she's here, all right? But this is something that I'm actually considering getting for Mrs. Whiskey because she has a bad habit when driving, okay? And this is...
I have her number on my phone.
This is one of yours. So here you go. Check this thing out.
Because I want that for myself.
All right, explain it.
Well, you can see what it is. You can either wave to somebody or flip them off. Okay? So many people need to be flipped off.
Yeah, well, it's driving. Yeah, sure. Yeah. T. Brooks.
Or you can they also make sign readers for your back window.
Right.
And you can put whatever colorful sayings you want on that. That might be good too.
Oh yeah, that might be. Okay, I got to tell you this. I got to tell you this story. So my wife and I are driving, and I got to set the scene. So we're driving through the city of Seattle, and the city of Seattle it goes from like 5 lanes coming northbound. It goes from like 5 lanes on I-5 down to 3. And one of those lanes peels off and goes into downtown. So realistically, for about 50 feet, you're looking at, 2 lanes, from 5 lanes to 2 lanes. And my wife and I are driving. We're in a little Nissan Sentra. And this guy in this huge, and my son was just born, like probably 6 months. And this guy is driving in this jacked up Chevy pickup truck or whatever. And he's basically driving pretty close to our rear end. Well, my wife, of course, being a brand new mother and being the Italian that she is, she decides to flip him off. And of course, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at her and I'm going, what in the hell are you doing? And she goes, well, I'm showing him my thought process. And I said, well, you do realize that if he gets pissed off, 1, he can drive right over us because we're actually looking like underneath him. And 2, if he decides not to do that and he pulls over, who's going to be the one that's going to have to take care of the problem?
No, you pissed him off. You go take care of it.
Yeah, well, she does this often. Well, apparently, and I got to throw this back on the other side. So apparently my son has a story that he and I were driving in my current truck. And we were driving this summertime. We had the windows down, apparently. And supposedly this person, I was driving through a parking lot and this person decided to just like back up. And when they did that, I supposedly leaned my head out the window and told them to go F a duck. Now, I dispute this because yes, I do get road rage, but I keep it in the cab. I don't ever lean out the window and yell at people. Okay. I just don't. It's not my nature. But anyway, so this would take care of it for you. Anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't flipping off. My car was flipping off. My car hates you, not me.
Yeah. So, yeah. So there we go. Something that would be kind of interesting. And somebody actually pointed out, 3 Chevy did, that's a great way to get someone to shoot at you. Well, yeah, there is that possibility and that risk. That is the risk that you are taking with this. So keep in mind, just because I have the product here on the program does not mean that I am advocating it. Okay. Use at your own risk. It's basically what you say.
So you can't blame Smith & Wesson for every mass shooting, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the user. Okay. Speaking about badassery with like images and stuff like that, you know what? Ladies, I got to tell you, this is something for you. This is a book about badass affirmations, all for the women. Okay? All for the women. And it's The Wit and Wisdom of Wild Women. Inspirational quotes for women, books, gifts. It's powerful affirmation, badass affirmation. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, my wife doesn't need this. She really doesn't. I'm sorry. She's already badass. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that are out there that are badass too. But if you happen to need some support in that badassery, this would be it. This would be it. So anyway, I thought I'd throw that in here. I didn't really look inside. I don't think you can, but positive affirmations. I mean, it's basically just badassery. It's badassery for women. It's, like our women are not badass already.
Scroll back down.
Huh? Oh,
scroll down.
Okay.
See that candle? No, back up. Stop.
Okay.
Right there.
This one?
See that little candle?
Yeah.
I looked at that and I thought that was great.
My last nerve. Oh, look, it's on fire.
That would be a good one for any person in a high stress situation.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
This thought was amusing.
Sorry, Outlaw Dogs. I don't think so. Calendar? A calendar with you and me, like firefighters? Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, all right. Okay, so we talked about whiskey. We talked about, obviously whiskey and bourbon and scotch and so on and so forth. Well, what about for the person that has maybe a little bit of a hangover or, maybe just is more of a morning person? I saw this and I thought this was kind of cool. And ironically, it also came up when I was looking for ladies' gifts. But I love coffee as well. So this might be something that somebody might think about getting. It's a little expensive. I'm going to tell you that right now. It is a little expensive. But it's the Coffee Connoisseurs subscription. Now, I'm not much of a coffee connoisseur, but I do know plenty of people who are coffee connoisseurs who sit there and can, sip the coffee and tell you what notes and maybe where the bean came from and whether it was an Arabica bean or some other freaking coffee bean, whatever it is. Anyway, so this is basically kind of a subscription. Like I said, it's a little expensive. I mean, depending upon what you want to do, it's, 155 versus 315, somewhere in there. But I thought I'd include it just for the fun of it. Just because, this is kind of like a coffee of the month club, I guess, in a way. I guess it's 3 months of created caffeinated gifts for the coffee enthusiast, and you get your own grinder. You get the 3 months worth of coffee, the different ones. And then, so anyway, just as an option for people for that. All right.
So how do you treat coffee? Is it like your morning wake up juice?
Yes.
Do you need it?
I would say yes. That would be a need. Not a want, but a need.
I've never had that feeling that I needed caffeine in the morning.
Really? Okay.
Well, I'll drink it. I'll not drink it. There's no difference to me.
Oh,
that's just me.
Yeah. See, I can't. I have to. I mean, well, I won't say I can't, but it's a lot better when I have coffee in the morning.
Now I try and stay away from when I do my long road trips.
Ah, yes.
Because an hour after I start drinking, I gotta pee. So,
Well,
no, not great for a long road trip.
Ah, well, this next one actually ties into the coffee connoisseur and really can show somebody, is particularly if you haven't had your coffee yet, what you really think. And this is your contribution. So this one here is, of course, telling somebody to have a nice day.
Yeah, it's totally polite. There's nothing rude about that.
Yeah, and as they go out, when you're drinking your sip, when you're taking your sip, you're giving them a friendly number one sign. They're number one.
You're number one.
Yes, you're number one in my life.
You're top of my shit list.
Yeah. That reminds me of the saying, you know, I'm trying to think of how it starts, but it basically is, the line to ride my ass is over there. I can only please one person a day. Today is not your day and tomorrow doesn't look good either, or something like that. Anyway,
yeah,
something along those lines, but all right. So yeah, so have a nice day and then flip them off as you drink the cup. So there you go. This is kind of interesting. Okay. So now what's our next one here? I see I'm way over on time, but that's okay. As long as you can hang out, I'm good. Oh, I threw this one in. So I know not everybody is really interested in whiskey or whatever, but I really wanted to bring this up for only one reason, and you'll find out why here in just a second. But if you decide to go camping out in the woods and you want to enjoy that romantic picnic, here is a great thing for you men to do if you want to bring along that special someone who is a wine person and wants to drink wine. This is the Savvy Outdoors wine tote bag. Now, this has 2 stemless wine glasses, but you know what? I think you could actually up the game on this. Instead of having these 2 little cups that are, what color would you call that? Would you call that turquoise? Turquoise colored cups. Okay. Instead of these turquoise colored cups, why don't you just enhance this gift with your own logo Whiskey Musings drinkware? This is the wine tumbler. You can go and get this and then add and spice it up by putting in Whiskey Musings logo drinkware. Or if you don't like the logo, you can also go and get the When I Drink, I Think Whiskey Musings motto as well, and be able to use that for the in place of those teal.
Yeah, teal. That's the color.
Yeah, those teal or whatever, turquoise, whatever it is. But this is the When I Drink, I Think Whiskey Musings tumbler, wine tumbler as well. So you can add that to this and show your sophistication in the wine and say basically that when you drink, you think. You think about things.
That was a slick segue, man.
You know.
That was a shameless plug.
It was totally shameless, but you know what? That's perfectly fine with me. I don't care. I'll do shameless all day long. And hey, by the way, if you want one of these wonderful drinkwares or anything else on the Whiskey Musings logo or the Whiskey Musings gear site, you can put in promo code Christmas, all capital letters, and get free shipping right now until Christmas Eve. And you can also pick up some other things like pint glasses. There's T-shirts, sweatshirts, so on and so forth. There's all kinds of things out there. Take a look. And I'm giving you free shipping until Christmas Eve with using the promo code Christmas, all capital letters, for the Whiskey Musings gear store. Anyway, sorry.
I'm going to go buy 12 right now.
Hey, you actually have the GETTR, which I show
I have
everybody.
The GETTR, I have the hoodie, I have a T-shirt.
Yes, you have GETTR hoodie and T-shirt. That's right, and you and all of them. You like them all. So that's really good.
No, the GETTR was exceptional.
Yeah, it's right here. Reach for it. It's this guy right here. This is the GETTR.
And now I use it every time I have to go into someone's attic, so I don't breathe in their insulation.
There we go. That's got the gear. It's dual. It's 2-ply, so it's got two. It's basically wrapped over 2-ply, 2 layers of cloth, and so yeah, it's really cool. All right. So there we go. All right. So the last thing that I have here, I mean, other than of course my shameless plug, the last thing that I have here is yours, and this one, Jay. If you're still on Facebook, this is for you, buddy. You can go ahead. You wanted to get, Jay does all of the calendar jokes on the Mark K Show, and sometimes he does them, sometimes he gets behind, but he goes and he does these. Well, guess what? You can get this, and this is your contribution, so I will go ahead and let you do this. But this is what? What is this?
Exceptionally bad dad jokes. We're all dads here, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Well, I would assume most are, yes.
People who identify as male.
Oh, there we go.
You gotta be specific nowadays. Anyway, I'm always cracking some bad dad jokes with my kids.
Right.
And, they get old and you need a source of new material. So here you go.
Absolutely. And apparently this, it comes in paperback. It's like $9. So you could use it as a stocking stuffer. Hey, if anybody wants to let Jay know, he should probably do this. There's also some other books down here too that are tied together. Exceptionally bad dad jokes and 600 of the best worst dad jokes that are out there. So there's a couple other ones that you can do for the total price of $24. You can get all 3 of them, and you can supply your person with all these wonderful dad jokes. I think Mark should get it for Jay, personally. I think he should. But anyway, or maybe Jay should just get it and then entertain the rest of us for the entire year off of all of these.
There you go.
So there we go. Yeah. All right. So that, folks, is the last one of the evening, the Whiskey Musings unique gift episode of 2022. Thank you for hanging in. I do appreciate it. And of course, Kirk, thank you for your contributions, sir. As always, it is a pleasure to have you on the broadcast. I am going to go ahead and back you out. I'll talk to you in just a minute if you want to hang for a minute. Okay, so everybody, thank you all for joining. That is my final Whiskey Musings thought of the evening. Do me a favor, if you like what I do, and keep in mind, this particular episode is not your norm. Usually do this throughout the holidays, just to give something a little bit different variety. But if you like what I do, and go and check out on some of my other videos and episodes, and then of course head on over to Rumble, sign up and subscribe, because Rumble is my place. I like it. Obviously I push it all the time. And hey, if you are in the giving mood, okay, last little plug, but if you are in the giving mood and you're looking to give a little bit of money, whether it's $5, $10, $15, whatever it is, do me a favor, go over to kayskids.com, K-A-Y-E-S kids, K-I-D-S.com, kayskids.com. It is a fabulous charity, for kids in the Jacksonville, Florida area that are having issues with their health. And what this does is it's partnership with Dreams Come True. And what they do is they actually bring gifts. They're sort of like Make-A-Wish in a way, but they bring gifts to the kids. There's been kids who have had greenhouses. There's kids who've had DJ outfits, things for being a DJ, a radio disc jockey. And they do just a fantastic time. It's also one of the few charities that I've actually seen that, and by few, I mean, there are a few that are out there that do this, but it's one of the few charities that I actually have seen that over 90 cents, in other words, 90% of the money that they raise go directly to the kids. They only take about 10% for overhead, or 10 cents out of every dollar for overhead. The rest of it goes directly to the kids. And there's not very many that are out there, not very many charities that are out there that are actually at that level, at that low of a level for the overhead. So do me a favor, go to kskids.com and donate, even if it's like $5, $10, $15, whatever it is. That's the best. It's the best way you can kind of help these kids out. Give them a little Christmas. And if you want to see what they do, go and check out Mark K's show, noon to 3 p.m. Eastern time. And right around 2 p.m. Eastern, he will have a K's Kids. He's running right now. He's doing the 12 Days of Christmas. So he will have the K's Kids on. You can also check out some of the videos as well with that. And do me a favor and just do that. If you're in a giving mood, go for it, please. That is a very, very worthy charity. They just had their Ho Ho Hold'em tournament earlier, which I am planning on attending for next year. And so we can go ahead and help make these kids' lives who are already having some issues with their medical problems and stuff. And believe me, all these kids are wonderful. They're so polite. They're so nice. I've got to stop. I can't talk about them too much. I'll start tearing up. They're so great. But anyway, so go and support that charity if you're in a giving mood. Okay, so Wednesday coming up. Wednesday is Pearl Harbor Day. I'll have something about Pearl Harbor, and I guarantee you that I will probably be talking about the whole Twitter dump that happened yesterday on the whole thing with Twitter. I mean, it's so enormous. You gotta take it all in before you can really even come up with anything to say for it. And we'll see you next time on the Whiskey Musings broadcast. Good night, everybody.